Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kyla, and in this video we're going to talk about all the books that I plan on reading in the month of October.
And it's a lot, okay? It's a lot.
I feel like everyone is like this right now, where like October is the month where the TBR is massive, like as big as it could possibly be, and like you want to read all of the spooky things this month in particular, but there's just so much, and like how do you narrow it down? This took me forever. I genuinely like went back and forth on my TBR, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna pile it all on, and like whatever I get to, I get to. It's not the end of the world if I don't. Okay, maybe it is, but like we're just gonna have to be fine with it. I do have some reading vlogs planned for the month, as well as participating in a readathon, so we're gonna talk about all the things, and yeah, let's just dive in. So the first vlog that I'm going to be focusing on this month is actually like a witch themed vlog. This is something that I've been wanting to do for so long, because there are so many witchy books out there that I haven't read yet that have been on my TBR forever, and it's time. And the book that like really brought this vlog to life is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I have been wanting to read this for so long, and I don't know why I haven't yet. Last year it just didn't happen, and like I just don't know. What have I been doing? I'm not sure, but this is the year that we make it happen. And so this is kind of where the vlog started, and then we just spiraled out from there and just kept adding all of the witchy books, which I will show you in a second. But yeah, I'm so excited to get to this one. I don't really know much about this. I've kind of avoided all spoilers, so really all I know is that it's a witchy horror book, and I believe our main protagonist like moves to a new town or a city or something like that, and she meets a new friend. But that's literally all I know. All I want to know. You know how I operate. I don't like to know anything going into books, or at least as little as possible. So yeah, we're gonna start with Cackle. This is for sure going to be included, but I do have a stack of books that I could also include in that vlog, so you'll have to let me know what out of these you would like me to include. So I have In the Company of Witches by Aurelie Wallace. This is a cute, cozy mystery, and I just feel like it's going to go well because I have a lot of like other spooky reads on my TBR, so I feel like having a cozy is like necessary. So we have this one, and all I know about this one is about a group of witches who own a B&B, I believe, and someone dies at their B&B.
I think. So we have that.
And then we have The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. I've been wanting to read something from Shay Earnshaw for a while. I don't think I have, which just seems like crazy to me, because I feel like I would absolutely love the writing, and her books seem like right up my alley, so I don't know why I haven't read from her yet, but we're gonna start here with The Wicked Deep. I heard about this book from Kendall from Bookphoria. She was talking about her favorite witchy books, and she talked about this one, and it just sounded so fun. And in this one we are following three sisters who have been sentenced to death back in the day. You know, they're witches, so you can imagine. And they come back every summer, and they steal the bodies of three troubled teens in the area and like wreak havoc basically, because they want revenge for what happened to them. This is a YA horror, so I know that it's going to be just exactly what I need, and I cannot wait. I'm really excited for this one, so I think I'm definitely going to include this one in the vlog. I also could include Hex Education in this video as well. This is by Maureen Kilmer, which is the same author as Suburban Hell, which I loved. I read that during my summer vacation. It was the perfect summer vacation, like horror. I loved it. It was so fun, so I'm very excited that she has another one coming out. about and to check it out. This is new. I believe it just came out like last week or so. I don't know anything about it other than it has to do with witches because hex education, obviously. I don't know if they're like teachers. I have no idea. All I know is that I freaking love this cover. Something about her horror covers, like they're so hilarious and fun. And I know this is probably going to be a little over the top like Suburban Hell, but I think it's okay because you gotta include some of that in all of the spook, you know? You gotta have to mix it up a little bit. So I think this is gonna be the perfect like fun popcorn kind of horror to throw in this month, and I could definitely include it in this vlog as well. The last one that I have is We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Barry. This one I don't know much about other than I think we follow a team of field hockey players, which obviously these are field hockey sticks, so that would make sense. A team of field hockey players, I don't know if the field hockey players are witches, they're magical, what have you. I have no idea, but I do know that this is set in Massachusetts, which is so fun because that's where I'm from. Also, that's something that I love about this time of year is so many books take place in New England, and I'm like,
Yes, as you should. As you should.
as a New England girl, I truly believe that all of the books this time of year should take place in New England because it's just the vibes. It is just the vibes. So anyways, we have We Ride Upon Sticks. I've seen this one going around for a couple years now. I haven't read it. It sounds fun. It sounds like it would be up my alley. Maybe? So you'll have to let me know in the comments what you would like me to include in the vlog, or all of them. I could go ahead and include them all, let's be real. Before I get to the next vlog, I do have some other fantasy books that I would like to include, whether they're like a little bit magical or just the vibes for this time of year. So the first one is a magical realism slash fantasy, I believe, and it's The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I have heard nothing but good things about this book, especially I've heard that if you are a fan of Gilmore Girls, which like, hi, hello, if you know me at all, you know, and Practical Magic and like all of the buzzwords around like a cute, cozy story this time of year is encapsulated in this, and like that's why I really want to read it. I don't typically go for like contemporary kind of stories, but when it includes a magical element, I am going to show up. And if it's compared to Gilmore Girls, I'm gonna double down, basically. And all I know about this one is we have our main protagonist. I believe she owns a cafe or a bakery of something like that in a small town, and she finds out that her grandmother is sick and only has like a few weeks left to live, and her life kind of starts to like unravel and spiral down. And so I have a feeling this is gonna be kind of like hard-hitting. But yeah, I don't really know what happens from there. I don't really want to know. I just know that her life seems to spiral and maybe some magical things happen. Not sure, but I'm here for it and I'm here for the vibes. And then there were two other fantasy books that I wanted to read last month but didn't get a chance to. The library did not come through, so fingers crossed they come through this month. And the first one is The Library of Shadows. Not pun intended, but like pun intended. And then the second one was A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I've heard these are both kind of fantasy, mystery, little bit dark academia, which are just like my vibe in general this time of year. So if I can get to those, I also would like to read those this month. And then I have two graphic novels that I want to get to this month. I've been saving them for this month specifically. The first one is Crumbs by Stirling, and this just seems like a cute little witchy romance, which like amongst again the horror, I think it's good to have some light in there. So I'm excited to get to this one. This one is a chunker, but the artwork just seems so cute and like so autumn, and I am here for it. Know nothing, don't want to know anything else. And then I have not read this one yet, which is actually a little bit crazy, but it's been on my list for a while and it is now just the perfect time to get to it, and that is Pumpkinheads. I can't believe I haven't read this yet, although I'm acting like I've read like a ton of graphic novels. I haven't. I just got into graphic novels this year, so I guess it's not really that crazy that I haven't read this yet, but still, this one is so talked about, especially around autumn, and I saw it at the library. I didn't think that they had it, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, you're coming home with me. And all I know about this one, it's like a cute friendship story, I believe, and they work at like a cute little, oh my god, they're adorable, pumpkin patch. I don't know if this is a romance or just a friendship story, but we're gonna find out together. And now it is time to talk about the spooky reads that I plan on reading this month. So I have a vlog planned for the end of the month where it's just going to be like a horror vlog. It's not going to be specifically themed. It's just going to be reading horror that I am really interested in, that I've been wanting to read, or that are new. It's really just going to be a hodgepodge, and it's also going to include the next round of the Screaming Color Readathon, which Gabby is putting on from Ava Reid. It is her Patreon exclusive readathon. She does one every couple of months or so, and it's always themed after a color and a Taylor Swift lyric, which, like, yes. And this time it is red, and I've vlogged every other one so far, so I definitely want to include it, but it's going to be included in my horror vlog because a lot of the books kind of cross together. A lot of them have red on the cover already. I have a list on my phone because I don't have all of the books that I want to check out for the readathon and for that vlog. The first one is A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. This is in the same family as The Haunting of Hill House. It actually takes place at Hill House, but it's another group of characters and another story. Now, did I love A Haunting of Hill House? Not really. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. I just found it a little bit boring and not really scary, but I think I just had too high of expectations. The writing was amazing, and I loved the aesthetic and the vibes of it, but the overall, like, plot of it, I just found a little bit dull, so I'm hoping that this one delivers, because I would love to love something about The Haunting of Hill House. So this is A Haunting on the Hill, but it has this gorgeous cover with all of the colors. Oh my god, it's amazing, but there's definitely red on there, so it's going to be included. And then I have the September House, which I really wanted to read last month, but it didn't come through on the library or any of like my audiobook holds or anything like that, so we're gonna include it on this. This is also another kind of haunted house kind of thing. They're not all haunted house themed, but these two specifically are. And this one is about a woman who gets her dream home. I don't know if she inherits whatever, but she's like determined to stay there despite all of these haunted things kind of happening. Your typical haunted house kind of story, but I'm hoping that this delivers. I've heard incredible things so far from my friends who have read it, so I'm hopeful. And then I also could include the Book of the Most Precious Substance by Sarah Gran. This one looks pink, but it actually has a lot of red in there as well. And this one I've heard is weird and probably going to be like my kind of horror, because my kind of horror is not like super grotesque or anything like that. It's, well, lighthearted because I love YA horror, but also I just like weird horror. That seems to be like my wheelhouse. So I have a feeling this is going to like fit right in, especially because I love fantasy too. And I know that this has something to do with sex magic and like something, I don't know. I do not know. I purposely have not read the back of this. My friend Jess sent me this for my birthday and I've been meaning to read it. We were gonna do like a buddy read together. So Jess, if you're watching, if you want to read it this month, I'm gonna hit you up. But I have been waiting until this time of year to read it, and I just feel like it could be perfect. It's good for a readathon because it's really not that long. It's like just under 300 pages, and like the writing in here is like quite large. So I have a feeling I could get through this in a weekend for sure. But like, I'm just so curious at this point. I'm like, I need to know about this book of sex magic. I need to know. So I'm gonna include it on that list. Will I get to it? Let's hope so. And then some other books that I could include in that vlog, which aren't necessarily like part of the screaming color because they don't have red on the cover, but could be included in the horror vlog, is Starling House. This is another haunted house kind of book, and all I know about this one is that it takes place in Kentucky, and this town in Kentucky is famous for this author that lived there who has since passed away, but its home still stands, Starling House, and it has like this creepy air now, and we are following two siblings, I believe, and one of them is like kind of obsessed with the story and this house. I don't know. That's kind of like the vague synopsis that I've gathered. It just sounds really creepy and really eerie, and I am hopeful that it will give me all of like the creepy haunted house vibes that I am looking for this season. So excited to read this one. And then I also have another Rachel Harrison on this list with Black Sheep. This is her newest release, and I have been dying to get to this one as well. Something about her writing, it's just so good. It's so good, and it is perfect for this time of year. This one is about a family who has like a creepy history past or whatever, and someone passes away and they all have to kind of reconvene together, and the family history starts to unravel and that kind of thing. I don't really want to know much more than that. I believe like the black sheep is like kind of like the outcast, and that's kind of where that theme comes in, but I could be completely wrong. I just know it's Rachel Harrison, it's gonna be creepy, and it's definitely going to give the horror vibes. And I could not let this vlog go without including some classics too, because I have not read some of the most famous horror classics, and I feel like everyone this time of year, if you haven't read them, is like putting them on their TBR. So same, but I also have been wanting to read them for a number of years now, and it's just one of those things where it's like, it's such a commitment, because the writing style is going to be so different than what you're used to, so getting into them takes a little bit more effort, but I at least would like to get to one of them. I did check out two from my library, so we have Frankenstein, obviously. I hate this cover. I hate this cover of it, but it's what the library had, so just ignore the cover. But yeah, Frankenstein. I mean, I haven't read it. It's kind of really just a problem at this point. And then we also have The Strange Case of Dr. Jeckyl Mr. Hyde. Now, I know kind of the vibe of both of these, obviously. They've been around for a while. I've obviously seen movies and that kind of thing, but I would like to have the experience of reading both of them. I also did not realize how freaking short this book is. Like, this is a tiny little novella. I did not know that. So why have I been putting it off? That's a great question. We're not gonna do that anymore. I think for sure I will get to this one because hello, this is tiny. And then also, I would love to get to this one too. I also was gonna put Dracula on this list, but like, vampires, hit or miss for me. So I was like, let's start here. I feel like I'm more apt to like these two more, and then we will see. You run the risk with classics because they are classics of like, are they still gonna hold up? Are you still gonna enjoy them? Are you gonna really get into it because of the writing style? I hope so. So yeah, that's kind of like the last list of the horror for that vlog. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna include all of these or just a few of them. We'll have to see what happens as the month goes on and when I end up reading those, but there will be a horror vlog of some sort at the end of the month, which will include some of these books. And then I also have two other like thrillers that I wanted to get to last month but didn't get the chance to. So if I have time, I would like to get to Rouge by Mona Awad, because duh, it's Mona Awad, and then also Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. This one has dropped down a little bit on my TBR because I have heard not a lot of people enjoying this one. I'm still interested in checking it out because I will give a book a fair chance despite other reviews, but I am like putting it a little bit lower on the priority list. It's not like a must-have for this month. It was actually the book troop pick for last month, but I didn't get to read it in time, which is totally fine. So, we'll see what happens. If I have time, I will get to that one. And that concludes the massive list that is this October TBR. Again, will I get to all of these? Probably not, but I would like to get to a fair amount of them. So if there's any you would like to see me prioritize in those videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. We have the witchy vlog and we have the horror vlog, so let me know what you would like to see in each of them. I also would love to hear what you are planning on reading for this spooky month. I would love to know, are you planning on getting to any classics, or are you planning on reading all new horror? Are you going super gory? Are you going cozy? Let me know all of the things in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
With you and I, the future